Wrestling. Now, I got some thoughts on what's going to happen on Saturday. Because you haven't figured it out, something's about to happen on Saturday in two different promotions. So I got my thoughts on it, and I would like your opinion on this after this video has been, once you look at it, just say something in comments. But let's go through this show. 6 knockout tag. We have the debuting Lady Frost working with Tasha Steelz as well as Chelsea Green. Now, I have my thoughts on that, and that'll be after this match. But I'm going like, why? Here. But that's what I was thinking at first. Then you got the Rosemary, Rachel, and the Jordan Grace. The trifecta of Impact Wrestling. Now, the match itself wasn't bad. It was fine. And I didn't know who was going to get the edge here because this is being done before the Knockouts Ultimate X match. That's what this is all about. Who's got the momentum going there? So they decided to put them all in a match so you could see generally the people that's going to be in it. In the end, the one who got the pin was Tasha Steelz. Now, mind you, doesn't mean she'll win Ultimate X. And I honestly don't know who should win Ultimate X on this situation because we now getting Lady Frost, who is signed with Impact Wrestling. And then you got everyone else who has pretty much done a whole bunch of stuff, including the Jordan Grace, who is now the Digital Media Champion, which means absolutely one thing. Nothing. I gotta say this. I really need to say this about the Digital Media Championship. It is a joke. It is sad when Impact truly need... If I got a picture of the Digital Media Championship, I'll stick it in my face. I probably don't. But if I did, I'll throw it in my face. Look, guys. The Digital Media Championship should be the mid-card title. They need one for all of the women and men of Impact Wrestling. I can understand if it can go from one to another. I would kind of hope, this is what I wish, this is me. If they change the Digital Media Championship from being on just YouTube and Impact, well, not, you have to see it as an insider. And if you want to see that to be defended, it has to be on Impact Plus. But I would love to see the Digital Media Championship, this is what I want, once a month. You have the Digital Media Championship on Impact Plus. And you have a tournament to see, not once a month, maybe once every 2 or 3 months. You have a tournament for both sexes. And in the end, you allow both sexes, after their own separate tournaments, to face each other in the ring. And whoever wins that set match is in control of the Digital Media Championship. And for the next 2 or 3 months, is only challenged for that sex, that gender. And after 3 months, they have a tournament. That original person who won the title loses it, and then they have another tournament to see who will have the right to be able to wield it, either the knockouts or the men. If the women have it, the knockouts, they have an opportunity to go after for the next 3 months. I say 3 months. The same for the men. At least it would be a mid-card title that both sexes could use interchangeably. And you could focus on it. This is garbage. I'm just saying. Now, Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona had an interview. And before this interview happened, when I saw Chelsea Green here, the thing that pissed me off simply was that we didn't hear anything about the chair shot to the head. Nothing. The commentator said nothing. She acted like she was perfectly fine. It was garbage until we saw the interview. And to be honest, it did what it needed to do, hyping up the match between Moose, Morrissey, and Matt. But to be honest, just seeing that, yes, she's still in the corner of her man. She believes he's going to win. No one understands him. Yes. But this is where, when it comes to Chelsea Green, they've done nothing with her. Look, guys, I'm not against Chelsea. And seeing that she was working with Tasha Steelz as well, this is where, is she a heel? Because she just worked with the heels. She just did. And she won. So you wonder, is she about to turn heel? Shouldn't she have already turned heel? Shouldn't she be the hot mess like on NWA. I'm just saying. Now, we did get a vid pack between Morrissey, Cardona, and Moose. I mean, it was cool. No problem with it. We even got a full interview of Morrissey, making it very clear, when I was on top, everybody wanted to be on my bandwagon. Everybody wanted to be in my corner. But then when I hit rock bottom, nobody wanted to be there. So I didn't need nobody. Once I worked with Moose, I knew he was going to betray me. He betrayed me. But guess what? Not having any friends, I finally got what I want. I got a title match. So I'm fine with all this. At Hard to Kill, I'm going to beat everybody. And I'm going to be what I am. And always going to be alone. That was okay. It was fine. I don't know how to feel about this situation. Because having Morrissey in the match really doesn't feel like it's necessary. Because just having Matt as well as Moose should be enough. Honestly, throwing Morrissey in there means they don't want either guy to lose. And he'll probably get the pin. Probably. Unless they're really going to pull the trigger on Morrissey because they truly believe he's ready. Do I believe he's ready? No. I'm sorry. Morrissey really works better with a partner. And as he is by himself, he's been booked strong, but he just doesn't feel like he's fully there yet. And understand, I like Morrissey. I'm just saying. Now, we got Marsha Slamovich versus Moon. I can't remember the girl's name. Now, supposedly this was her opportunity to try and join Impact. Her debut on Impact, which, as I've said before, and I'll say it and continue saying this, Impact, please keep letting this happen. Let independent wrestlers come in to do jobs for your main roster. This shows that it's not stale, and they bring in people to make things look good. Slamovich, I'm going to say this about Marsha Slamovich. I do not know if she really is good or not. Did she look impressive? Yes. But as much as many people are going to say, oh, look at that hair, look at her. No. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not there. Did she look all right in that match? Yeah. But that means shit. I'm going to tell you guys, and I know people can say, oh, she's awesome. Fuck that. I want to see if she can work in the back doing promos. Can she talk? Can she, in a real high-profile match, be a ring general? If she can do those things, I'm all for her. If she can't, I'm going to say she can't and she needs some freaking work. Like the Inspiration. I'm going to Inspiration now. The Inspiration decided with, I forgot that guy's name again, the one that was destroyed by Jonah. I'll eventually learn his name if he's staying on the roster permanently. But they decided to do a talk show all about I. Really? Ripping off Tennille Dashwood all about me. And the thing that gets me was not the segment after that where Tennille gets angry that she got her name of her show mostly ripped off, and her as well as Madison are arguing, saying that this is going to be our titles. You see Caleb and I forgot his guy, Lanyard, I forgot his name, I'm sorry. I just don't remember his name. And they're kind of like trying to show off to each other, trying to see who's more cooler. It's just, you didn't even set up. Anyone who likes the Inspiration, anyone who likes Tennille Dashwood should be quite upset with this. Honestly, you should be upset because there's been no setup for them to act like this on Impact TV. Nothing. If you think showing a YouTube video is enough, no. You think doing it on Impact Plus, no. We're still having people who only watch Impact on the show from Fight TV. And we don't even see the setup for them to turn on Tennille, who deserves it. Not because she's treated them bad, but because she's been on Impact for so long and has never had a real storyline that has ever been booked properly. She's got two of her best friends in real life, two great friends, where all three of them are Australian. All three of them bust their ass to come to the States and become known. And this is what you give them? Not the ripping off of All About Me, calling it All About I. That's not my problem here. The problem is that you don't set them up as friends. You don't show them building up to the point where Cass and Jess want to turn on Tennille so they can get more looks, more publicity, more interest because Tennille's been there longer. She has more of an influence. She is well known and well traveled. You would think those two would try and screw her over and you would progressively show it. No. If you, and I don't care who it is, I don't care if it's a guy, I don't care if it's a girl, if you love the inspiration, if you love Tennille Dashwood, you should be disappointed in this. I am flat out disappointed. And I don't care if you leave a comment in my description, well, not description, my comment section saying, what the hell is wrong with you? They're great. People love them. Bullshit. I want to see them be looking nice. I want to see them actually be respected if they put the effort in. If they came up with this idea, it's disappointing. If Impact came up with this idea, it's disappointing. Because they didn't even do the setup properly since they came into Impact since Bound for Glory. You can't tell me they couldn't set something up. They had weeks of tapings, guys. Remember, these are not live things. These are taped. And they could have built up just 2 or 3 minute segments of them dealing with Tennille, having their time together. And then you could see the dissension in them trying to turn against her to make sure that, and you could still do the Havoc and Rosemary thing, just so you could see that they want to be the best Aussies on the roster. They don't need a third wheel. I'm just saying. Now, Macklin, he had his moment. He had his moment to talk and say he's finally getting his title match. He's finally going to show why he's so good. And he realizes he got exactly what he wanted. And the wonderful Gail Kim is just stupid for letting it happen. Then easily you could see that Gail was just standing there watching. Walks up to him and says, oh, you think I'm stupid? He said, yeah, because you gave me what I wanted. And he said, oh, no. It's a little bit more than that. A little too convenient. You could have said it ahead of time. But she says simply, I told Trey he's having his match, but I didn't tell Trey everything, or you. So this is it. You're getting your shot. But understand this. If you lose and don't get the title, you never get another shot at it, no matter what you do. As long as Trey's champ, you'll never get that shot. You'll never get that ass again. You'll never get your title, your want, your need, your precious. My precious. A little bit of the Lord of the Rings. You know, I never really saw much of the Lord of the Rings when it first came out. Now, I have the videos. I managed to get them. I saw some of it, but I really... medieval stuff, sort of. I used to love it as a kid, but I really haven't seen that much of it. I should actually see it in the next couple of weeks because I've been trying to look at stuff that's been interesting because ain't nothing really been good lately. Anyway, there you go. Now, Deonna Purrazzo versus a Mercedes Martinez. Now, here's where it gets interesting, guys. And I know people would say, oh, look, there she is. You thought all this craziness. What is wrong with you? She's working for Impact. Guys, yes, we just saw her recorded. I do not know if she's also signed with Impact or if she's doing taping by taping basis or she's not at all. Because remember, Tony Khan has already stated he has signed her. Now, as far as I can tell, the partnership between Impact Wrestling and AEW is over. Done for now. None of the people from Impact are working AEW. None of the people from AEW are working Impact. So, Mercedes Martinez, before she became a part of AEW, did some tapings for Impact Wrestling. Now, mind you, if she did sign a contract that said, I can go back, I'm happy as hell. At least, I'm happy as hell. But as far, if you go over to Wiki, AEW signed her, and it says Tony signed her. Nothing about her being signed to Impact Wrestling. Now, mind you, she could still do tapings and go in and be seen. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, was this a good match? Hell yeah, it was. And the lady that was the center of attention, and you can see in my face with that beautiful cleavage. Ooh, oh my goodness gracious me. Oh, Mickey James watching in commentary, who had a little bit of problem with a little bit of Matt Striker, who was doing the little devil's advocate. Was it a good match? Hell yeah, it was. And Deonna Purrazzo did not cheat, generally speaking. Of course, Matthew Rinwald did try to help out, of course. But still, Deonna won. They can't touch one another. And Mickey checked up on the wonderful Mercedes Martinez, who we hope can come back for tapings. And goes into the ring holding up a title in the face of Deonna Purrazzo, who cannot touch her. If she does, it's over. If Rinwald does anything, he touches her, he's suspended, and it's still over. Fine. This will be a ending of the situation at Hard to Kill, which is good to see. Here's a match that I'm kind of having a... is it going to be a real thing here? Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Swinger and Hernandez. Really? I'm looking at this as, is this a filler match? I'm going like, there's got to be some at the end of this. And there was. Hernandez gets his arm broken by a chair wrapped around it. Now, I'm sure people would say, it was great to see Swinger doing a match. Guys, Swinger is comedy. He will not do any serious stuff unless it's important, where he will mainly drop the Johnny Swinger thing and be really serious. No one's saying he can't wrestle, but he's comedic relief. Hernandez is not comedic relief. But here you wonder, what is going on? Are they really going to push these guys to actually get the titles? How long have they been teamed together? Over a year and a half now? Nearly 2 years? I don't remember how long they've been together. At least a year and a half. Since what? 2020? When they started? Or 19? I can't remember. So it's been at least a year and a half. No, not 19. I think at least early to mid 2020, I think. They had been teaming. It could have been longer than that. I just don't remember. But they better do something with them after what they did to Hernandez. Because if they don't, it was just a waste of time. Finally, the match that we'll... Oh, no. One more match before this. Jonah versus Jake somebody. Let's put it in this respect. Did Jonah need to go up against Jake somebody? No. Did Jake somebody need to go up against Jonah? No. Now, mind you, it doesn't mean they'll have a bad match, which they didn't have a bad match. They actually had a pretty decent, strong match. I want to make that clear. It was not a bad match. It was about, does this need to happen now? Did we need to see Jonah have to struggle against someone of the same size? Should he have to do this now? Or could it have been done after Hard to Kill, where he dealt with a Josh Alexander? I just don't agree that they needed this. They could have thrown Falaba in there. Okay? They could have thrown Raju in there. They could have thrown Raj Singh in there. They could have thrown anyone else except Jake somebody. They just didn't need to do it. Yes, you could do it after that, after he's already gone through pretty much Josh Alexander, who, after the match was over and Jonah won, came out to attack him. He wiped him out, then put him on a table, and then wiped him out again. And you would expect, and that's what I was thinking. I was expecting that, shouldn't Scott stop this? Shouldn't Scott have come out and say, hey, if you splash him, no match, and you'll be suspended, because I want you guys healthy. No. He lets him splash him onto the table. Then they show him afterward getting medical attention in the back from the trainer. Now, I don't know who's going to win the match. To be honest, the person that should win is Jonah. Jonah should win it, honestly. Because if Jonah doesn't win this, it's going to make him look really bad. And one of my subscribers who wants to see Josh Alexander clearly turn heel, this would be the best way to do it. Because as far as I can tell, if he wins this match, It makes no sense for him to turn heel. None. Zero. No matter what you think, my friend, and you know who you are. And if it was me the same way, if he wins the match, it makes no point in him turning heel. But if he loses his match against Jonah and he cracks, and pretty much Scott is telling him, you need to stay focused, and then he snaps and goes after Scott because Scott's supposed to be his advocate for him. That would be the only way he could turn heel, because any other way is going to be stupid. I'm just saying. Finally, Heath versus Carl Anderson for the War Games match. Hardcore War Games, guys. Let's be honest. This is a ripoff of War Games. That's what it is. They could have done a lockdown match. You could have done that. But you wanted to do something you felt was going to be interesting. Full Metal Mayhem match or a lockdown match. You could have done either one of them. But you chose to take a little bit from the WWE and say that we're going to do a War Games match, and we're going to call it Hardcore War. That's what this is. Exactly the same thing. So, we got both sides, which was the Good Brothers and Violent by Design, and then you got Swan, Rich. Well, I'm saying Swan and Rich, like I'm talking Willie and Swan. Swan and Willie, then you got Eddie, and then you got, well, they were all ejected. They were pretty much ejected because they were about to start a fight. And Brian just got rid of them. Brian Heffer just said, nope, gone. So we just generally had the match, which was all right. I'm not saying either one of the guys can't wrestle individually. They can't. They're more better in tag teams. But in the end, I didn't expect Carl to lose here. I really thought they needed it. The heels had to have the advantage, which they did. And then everyone came out and we got a small taste of Hardcore War, which is supposed to be War Games or Full Metal Mayhem or a lockdown match that Impact or TNA would do. Is this going to be a great show for anybody to watch? You'll like a little bit of what's going on in this Impact episode. I'll give you that. Now, got that done. I gotta say this. I have a problem. And I want you to comment below. I have Battle of the Belts or Hard to Kill to watch. I don't know how many hours, if the Battle of the Belts is going to be more than 2 hours. I think it's going to easily be 2 hours or more. And then you got Hard to Kill, which is going to be over 2.5 hours. So near 3. You got both these shows. And I've been trying to decide which one is better to watch. Because I can only see one. I can't see them both at the same time. So I can't do a review of both at the same time. It's not possible. I'm going to miss one. And I'm going to have to see it the next day. So I can do it then. So my feeling, I don't know which one yet. I've been thinking maybe it'd be better for Hard to Kill. Because simply put, there's going to be almost no one going to review it. Because they're going to be thinking of Battle of the Belts. Everyone's going to be watching AEW. So maybe I should watch that. But then, since no one's going to be going crazy over Hard to Kill, maybe I should do Battle of the Belts. Because it's going to get a lot more press. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I am probably leaning towards Hard to Kill. And I'll probably see that. And then I'll do Battle of the Belts the next day. I'll watch it. I'll review it. And I'll upload it. But tell me which one you guys want. And tell me the reason why. What match you want to see. What do you think is going to happen? Just leave it below like you usually do. Peace.